Hi there, welcome to Bear Talk. I play game a lot, and I played the game God of War 1 and 2 a while ago. At that time, I was in my 20s or early 30s. I was at a similar age as the main character of the game, Kratos. So his way of solving problem is the way I'm expecting. I want to get a straightforward way of solving any problem in my work and life, which is smashing them.
That axe you got.
So Kratos, killing, smashing, destroying, that's the way. But now I'm in my 40s and I know that life is much more complicated than that. And there are many things that you can't just smash it to solve. And sometimes you don't even have a solution. And recently I played the game God of War 4. And in this time, Kratos is a father. The role is different. And the adventure is still epic, but the story is different. And I've learned lots of things from this game. So in this video, I want to share some of my feelings about the game. The first thing I want to share is the difference of roles. As mentioned in previous games, Kratos is a revenger. He wants to revenge for those people who took away the precious things from his life. I mean, those people, actually, they are those gods, including his own father, Zeus. So the way he revenge, kill. But now he's a father. In this recent game, God of War, he is a father. He's in his senior stage. And this boy, Atreus, is his boy that he need to take care. He need to teach and guide him to become a better person, And that's really hard. And Kratos is not good enough as a father. He didn't know how to be a father. We can see that from the early stage of this game. There are many ups and downs, and he just wants to teach Atreus or just ask Atreus do things that he thinks is right, but actually that's not the right way to do. And those moments which was really resonate to me because I have some similar problem with my daughter, and I think for many other parents they all have the same thing. You want to teach, but how? Do you want to role model? Do you want to ask? Do you want to just yell at them? It's really difficult because we haven't learned that, and we need to learn it as well as the kid need to learn how to be a better person. You, me, and all other parents need to learn how to become a better parent. And from this story, I've learned that Kratos learned a role that he handles quite well, and also Atreus and other character also learn how to be a better kid or a better son. And that's the thing I really like about this game.
Atreus!
Speaking of parenting, speaking of being a parent, there is another similar role in this game, Freya. So Kratos and Freya, they are quite similar. They are like the coin sign of each other. They are both gods. They all have kids, and they all want to protect their kids, and they have power. They want to get the kid ready for this world, how to survive in this world. But actually their way is quite different. So Freya wants to protect her kid, Baldur, and by doing that, she just fulfill every demand, every requirement from her kid. And by the end, that's not the right way, and she lost him. But Kratos did another way that just show, and then later in the later stage, let it go, let the boy to learn things from himself. And I'm not telling which is the right way, which is the wrong way, but personally, I think Kratos did a better job, did it right, and that's the role model for me to be a father as well.
Yeah. On the day you were born, I made 2 knives, mixing metals from my home and from this land. One for myself, and when you were ready, one for you. Today is that day.
I think for many other players that also learned it. So I want to step back to the topic of the story. Like, we've learned something, and is that the purpose of this story? Probably a little bit. And if you take a step back, this is a myth, right? This is a story from the myth and from the Norse myth. So actually, what is a myth? It's at first came from many religions or from many cultures. They all have this myth. The God of War previous games based on Greek myth, and this one based on the Norse myth. At first, I'm not familiar with Norse myth, so I thought it was a barrier for me because I can't remember those names, those places. And when I saw those great places, I don't have a strong feeling about it. But later I thought that's probably good because it's actually not a barrier. It's a filter for me to filter out something is not important so that I can focus on the motive of this story, which is how to be a better father, how to be a better son.
So I'm a man now, like you?
No. We are not men. We are more than that. The responsibility is far greater.
Speaking of what is a myth, the myth guru Joseph Campbell, who influenced George Lucas, Steven Spielberg, and many other great storytellers, Joseph Campbell mentioned that myth is something that guiding us to solve real life problems and teach us important stuff. So we know even when the time is not ready for us, we know how to deal with those problems. For example, many myths, no matter from Eastern culture or Western culture, shows that how to be brave, how to protect your family, how to value your friend, how to value the people who's important to you. So I think it's more like an educational purpose, so that even when you are just a teenager at the moment, you know when the time's ready how to be a good father, how to be a good warrior, how to be brave. I think for many of us who's playing this game, not everyone is a parent like myself, and many teenagers might play this game and they might observe how Freya and Kratos done with their kids. And a few years later, when they are ready as a parent, I think they might thought about this game and think, oh, do I want to be a Freya or do I want to be a Kratos? I think at that time, it shows the value of this game or the value of the myth.
Power of this weapon, any weapon, comes from here. But only when tempered by this. By the discipline, the self-control of the one who wields it. That is where the true strength of a warrior lies. You must never forget that.
The last thing I want to mention is the balance of dopamine and oxytocin. So what it means, dopamine, we know that is a chemical that our brain releases when we feel exciting, and especially when we, for example, when we're scrolling social media, or when we see something exciting happen, like sports or play violent video games, we have dopamine released. And oxytocin is something different. It's also a chemical hormone that our brain releases, but especially when we hug our family or showing love or feel the love from the people we care, we have this oxytocin released in our brain. And this game, I think, is balanced quite well because I can still feel the excitement of playing the game. What I mean is using my axe to smash enemies, to get an epic fight. I really enjoy that. But also, I can feel that the attachment with those characters. I can feel the boundary with I can feel the connection, the relationship with Kratos and Atreus, and even the friendship they are building with the other characters like those dwarfs. So yeah, I think that's a good example of balance, oxytocin and dopamine. But that would be a good topic to discuss in another game, Death Stranding. As a wrapping up, after playing God of War for a couple of hours, by the end of it, I feel Kratos became a better father. He knows how to deal with this relationship with Atreus. And Atreus actually grow as a really brave young man. And for myself, I really enjoyed it as well, but also I became a better person. And I feel great about the story, and I've learned things. And then I will be more intentionally taking care of my daughter or spending time with my daughter, with my family, because I've learned things from this game as well. So after playing this game, everyone became a better person. What a great game it is. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and let me know if you have any comments or things below. I'll see you in the next video. Ciao.